So I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball this week and like and subscribe because it's not down there anymore. It's too small. We've moved it up here to where it's bigger.
Listen up, maggots. This is the Grouch coming at you loud and clear with another edition of the Weekend Warriors podcast. This is the place for real, no bullshit talk on the harsh realities and irreverent humor around military life. So sit the fuck down, strap in, and get ready for a raw, no-holds-barred discussion. This is the Weekend Warriors. Good evening, and welcome to episode 7 of the Weekend Warriors. I'm the Grouch, and join me this evening. We've got Working Late Nights and Steven.
7 already? Damn.
7. Yeah, time flies, man.
Yeah, I like that. That's an even number. That's the holy number, right? 777.
I was about to say, it's not an even number.
Oh, if it's the holy number, I mean, we need to talk about politics, religion, and all the stuff that's not allowed on ham radio.
Oh,
Well,
speaking of
listen,
politics,
we've already hold on. We've already gotten into politics a little bit. We've already gotten into religion a little bit. Let's start by just checking in with each other. Cody, how was your day?
Oh, my day was productive. Absolutely productive. I think I only am saying that because the days prior to it were absolutely not. So I felt like I had a lot of little wins today, and I was just I came home and was like, all right, I am gonna walk through this door just a little bit happier today, and that's all I got. Really, that's all I got, man. Just the little wins throughout the week was okay, but actually knocking out a fistful of them kind of put a little smile on my face, little breathing room going into the next training event we got going on.
There you go. You got to celebrate the little victories too. Steven, how about you?
I had a good day. Went up for the Legion Amateur Radio Club, which is in the next town over, because my post doesn't have we don't have a post home. We're in between homes, and we don't have a radio club. So, but Sevierville does. They've got post 104, which has got couple of 10 tech or a 10 tech rig, couple of 10 tech rigs, and a ICOM, and I have built a all-star node for them, and I took it up to install it tonight, and I forgot the root password, so I couldn't get into it, and it's sitting here on the floor, and later on next week or this week or this weekend or next week, I'll redo it and make sure that I write the password down somewhere where I can easily find it. But other than that, it was a really good day.
There you go. That's good. You got to celebrate the little day, the little good days, you know.
How was your day?
Well, I got to say, to keep with this good day rolling thing, right? I'm still rolling from a great night last night. So, as you can see, I'm wearing a softball jersey. This is last year's VFW jersey, but last night, the team that I play on, A&D, were in the semifinals, and we were in game 3. And so whoever won was moving on to the championship. And we go into the bottom of the 7th, and we're down by 9. And somehow, with 2 outs, we managed to not only score, but we scored 2, and then bases were loaded. Guy gets up, hits a grand slam walk off, and we win. So starting Monday, we're going to the championship. Sweet. Which is fantastic. But then today was the start of fall ball. And so I've always wanted to play baseball. I always wanted to play softball, but I've never gotten a chance because of physical issues and lack of experience to ever play the field. They always kept me behind the dish at the catcher spot. And so tonight I get to play second base for almost the whole entire game. And I did a good job. I stopped a few balls. I made a couple outs. Like, felt really good. So yeah, 100% with you guys. Like, absolutely great that we all had great days.
Sweet.
I like second base, man. That's the swing. When the short, if you got a really good shortstop, right, you end up running all the time with them because they're pulling out bigger plays, and you got to cover down that whole area, man. That's a
second
unique
base was
position.
boobies.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that too. Well, your wingman in that context, your wingman, might be going wild too.
So I want to touch base on something real quick before I forget it that Cody just brought up a few minutes ago. And that's learning how to leave shit at the door. Being in stressful occupations that we've all been in, whether it's the military or whatever else, any type of stress, make sure that you sit in your car long enough to decompress, go to whatever drive through and get you something to drink or snack on or a dessert or something, chill out for a little bit and then go inside and remember to try and leave everything that happened at work. That way it doesn't interfere with home life.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to keep that separation.
It is.
It is. Stephen, I like that. That finding whatever your decompressive tool is. Right. Some people have a very difficult time just actually finding that little that little gem that kind of can help them out. So
And going inside and hitting a bottle or a can is not a good tool.
No, not always. Definitely not always. But I think the important part is, don't get discouraged if you can't find the right tool either. Like,
And
be humble and try different things.
yeah, I used to go to the range and shoot. And
That's very cathartic.
It's man, it is. That smell of it's and I can actually say the smell of cordite because I actually had some 303 British shells and that actually had strings of cordite in them. But anyway.
Oh, you want to hear a good story?
Of
Absolutely.
course.
All right. So yesterday, and my boy comes back and he says, hey, Dad, cops are at the front door. Mind you, all right, now, granted, this is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still in my pajamas. Like, dude, it was one of those days. God damn it. Like, what the hell could the cops be here for? So I go to the front door and he says, hey, you got a son named Hayden or something? Yep, that's not quite it, but yep, that's my boy. So what did he do? He goes, well, has he got like an e-bike or a scooter or something and rides around the neighborhood? I go, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Like, he is always on his scooter, riding around. Now he got an e-bike, so he's always riding around on that. And so I said, what did he do? And so the cop tells me he's racing the school bus on his e-bike. And the school bus driver thought that it was very unsafe and, that he was going to potentially cause a harm to himself. And so, yeah, so the cops showed up to tell me that my boy was on his e-bike racing the school bus as it went around the neighborhood.
As long as it wasn't a short bus.
No, it was the full size. I had to try so hard not to laugh, and then like I of course I said, well, you got to tell this to him, so I brought him out, and he's getting the 1-2 from the cop, and I'm trying so hard not to laugh. I mean, what a fucking thing to do, racing the school bus.
Oh,
I just imagine, he's just cranking out Judas Priest, like, fuck, breaking the law on this fucking scooter.
I don't remember that being in the code section myself.
Be great.
Tony, good of you to join us. How you doing this evening?
I just woke up.
How was your day?
I slept.
Did you sleep all day? Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Play Call of Duty all night.
Well, off and on, just sleep cycles have not been normal.
I watched a video on sleep cycle the other day. They were proposing that sleep cycles used to be that people would go to bed, sleep for 3 or 4 hours, get up around midnight, have all kinds of activities, and then go back to bed and sleep for another 3 or 4 hours.
Sure.
And I was like,
Yeah, I mean, you're talking pre-19th century. Yeah, but the thing is there was things to do around the clock back then. Like, just to keep your house going, you had to do it. If it was chilly, like somebody had to get up in the middle of the night and stoke the fire. Like, you got to make sure your animals aren't getting eaten by predators.
Yeah, that does kind of make sense, right? Like you kind of been working all day, right? As soon as the sun goes down, right? You only got a certain amount of time or precious time to light some candles and stuff, and you want to kind of save those. So you probably go to sleep for a bit, and then by the time you have to actually add some more logs to the fire in the middle of the night, you get up, you have your meal, cook that stuff, get that stuff going, and then they probably had maybe a dinner or the evening meal, the big meal, probably around then, and then pass out of maybe around 3 or 4 a.m. and then
just a time to wake up for the sun.
Yeah, but I mean, if you I guess the time of the year too, probably dictates.
I watched. I can't remember the study itself, and I don't remember the job. I just remember the job was some sort of commercial job, like industrial type thing. I think it might have been working on an oil rig or something having to do with something like that, where they were initially doing 12-hour shifts. They were having a problem with people coming in late, so they went to a 13-hour shift. And what they found is that people were coming to work on time because they felt like they were getting an extra hour. It had a psychological effect. Everybody's start time shifted, so they'd get off work and they'd go home, and instead of having to be back up at the same time, it was an hour later when they had to get up, and it was a good psychological effect on the workers. The productivity increased and all that jazz.
So like an 11-hour work day and 13 hours off.
No,
they would work for 13 hours and then they'd
be have
off.
13 off.
Yeah.
Steven, I know you're dying to talk about the debate.
Not really.
Oh, that wasn't what you were going to bring up?
I was going to ask if anybody else thought that it was fucking painful to watch.
Yes, it was painful to watch.
Yes.
he did good at the beginning. The first 20, 30 minutes or so, he did good.
No, he
He's
lost it right from the start.
I disagree a
When
little bit.
I didn't
when
see it
when
that
When
way.
when
when
he went
she went
hyper
on,
focused on immigration, that's when he lost people.
well, yeah, I can see that a little bit, but when she questioned the size of his
Notable also by the size of his girth.
crowd size at
The
the
rallies.
rallies,
Yeah.
he fucking lost it. I mean, whoever was talking into her little earpiece there was feeding her just right. And I mean, of
I
course,
thought
it didn't help that both of the damn moderators were on her side.
So you're on her side.
And I mean, but in a good thing, they were so blatantly obvious about it that everybody noticed it. Everybody is talking about how they were not journalists, that they essentially gave up their oath of journalism
So you are not a journalist. You
and were paid actors for her.
Yeah, I think the 3-on-1 term has been beat to death.
Yeah.
What's up, Cody?
All right, so I got a couple things about this debate, man. Look, I swing one side of the political spectrum. Okay, I got it. So I was looking forward to someone who is going to try and turn a new leaf, but he failed to do so, and it kind of sounded like the same old friggin' rhetoric. So I'm like, oh my god, dude, you're making it all look bad for yourself, right? And then I was very surprised because I thought that the vice president, she did something that kind of felt genuine. It kind of felt like I was watching my first kind of presidential debate back in 2000, right? Where shit was a little bit more civilized, right? Like, I mean, it didn't seem like Bush and Gore were actually attacking each other. It was more like Bush trying to sell himself, Gore trying to sell himself, right? And then of course, there was a little bit of banter that went back and forth between the two that I remember, but it wasn't just like dragging through the mud type stuff. So I think she did a really good job at portraying someone who's trying to sell themselves instead of, fucking something else. And Steve, you said something about the debate itself with the commentators, right? People asking questions. I looked into this just a little bit, right? There was, or there still is, right? The Commission on Presidential Debates, the CPD, right? Started back in like 87, right? To get ready for the 1988 presidential election. What was cool about it is that it was both sponsored by the Republican and the Democratic Party, right? And it was a nonprofit organization, right? They held them at colleges and stuff like that. And what I think I remember, right, nostalgia brain, right, is that those commentators, those people that were asking questions to the people, to the folks running, it seemed like genuinely they asked questions of what America, right, of what American citizens would have wanted to know about a particular candidate. I didn't believe that happened that way. And the reason why is I don't know 100% if the CDP or CPD actually sponsored this last debate. And I'm looking it up now, and this one was not. Actually, in May of 2024, Biden and Trump campaign struck a deal to circumvent the nonprofit, right, for the people type CPD, right, and participate in 2 debates on CNN for June 27th and ABC News on September 10th. Well, I mean, Biden's not here, but breaking the long-standing traditions of debates organized under the auspices of the CPD. So it
Well,
sounded to me like it was more media driven, right? So it wasn't necessarily the people of the nonprofit, of the essence of, instead of picking the lesser of two evils, it was trying to pick the best candidate type thing, right? Who would be the better person to fucking run our country? They're all great. Which one's going to be the better one? That was the idea, or at least that's what I thought was supposed to be the purpose of these debates. But they started getting real friggin' sour, man. I cannot remember much on the debate that Obama's had, right? But Trump going up against Clinton, right? That was just really dragged down, nasty type stuff. And then all the rest of them since then, they seem more like an episode of Jerry Springer. Then they seem like we're choosing our president. And I'm fucking tired of it, man. But I still got to reiterate, I felt Vice President Harris, she did a good job at making me feel that level of I'm trying to sell myself as a person that might be there for you. All the way up until one very specific fact that I heard. She said, we, the United States, do not have any active duty service members in a combat zone as of now or any other time.
And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world, the first time this century.
And the second she said that, I screamed out loud.
It's true.
I screamed out loud, right? Because
that's a true statement.
I didn't get to watch it live, right? I watched it at 1:30 in the morning, and I screamed out loud, right? My wife came down. She was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "This lady's lying out of her teeth," right? I mean, both are, but
there's 100% people that are deployed in combat zones throughout the fucking world.
Not in an active war zone, which is what she said.
Not in an active war zone.
No, she used the word combat zone.
Yeah.
But the only active combat zone is technically Ukraine.
We can agree to disagree.
But I think Trump blew it. I think he focused way too much on the illegals because it's such a touchy subject, and I get how important it is, but I think that he just focused on it too much. He should have focused on Bidenomics, which she fucking endorsed and she said is doing great, and how that truly is fucking going, right? He should have focused on Bidenomics. Should have focused on, keeping fucking the power to the states. The states are what fucking matters.
States' rights. It's in the fucking Constitution.
Yep. It doesn't matter if it's abortion. It doesn't matter what the fucking rule is. Gun control, power to the states.
Well, being basically disabled and having a lot of time to look at a lot of different shit on the internet, as far as like different speeches and whatnot, I've been watching both sides of this thing a lot. And the thing that kills me the most is, if you go, I'm not saying Trump's not full of shit with some of the banter and crap that comes out of his mouth, but he talks about what he's going to do. He actually talks about what he's going to do, or what his plan is, or he doesn't get into specifics, but he gives you the idea of what he's trying to accomplish. I have yet to hear her say, with the exception of like the abortion issue, I have yet to hear her say anything concrete about what her plan is to do a fuck all in the fucking office.
You're right, man. Oh my God. This is what I miss about those old presidential debates, right? Is that when the commentator would ask those questions, right? Holy shit, right? Fucking Al Gore, right? He'd first be like, I invented the internet, and then he'd fucking go through a fucking spiel about like legitimately, I mean, ambiguous enough to like not get super specific, right? Right. But I tell you flat out, this is my timeline, right? That's gonna happen. You know, I will lower taxes by doing this and then this, right? And that ideally will happen, you know,
And that,
within my time of my 4 years or something like that.
and when they do say they're going to do something concrete, especially on that side of the aisle, that's got to do with, you know, all the buzzwords that make all the poors go yeehaw. You know, like we're going to tax the rich, we're going to freaking raise corporate taxes, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and the general population apparently can't think far enough down the road to realize that if they tax the people they work for to the point they close shop or move, what are they going to do for a fucking job? I mean, that's California's biggest problem right now is they have basically taxed everything to the point that either it's closing or moving, and that they're increasing their freaking unemployment because of that.
People don't want to live there. And I mean,
I don't want to see that kind of implementation on the federal level. I mean, we're already fucking deficit city. I don't want to see us become fucking California.
well, as a not a member of the Republican Party, not a member of the Democratic Party, I am a libertarian and don't really like either one of them, but unfortunately, in a two-party system, you have to pick one or the other. Because if you don't, then you're just giving a vote to one of them by abstaining, which is, and I have the right to vote, so I'm damn sure going to go vote.
And see, that's an issue. Is you have so many people that pick that road. Well, I'm not going to vote. But then they're going to bitch.
I don't like either one of them.
Then they're going to bitch about everything and everything that happens later. And then you got to look at these people and go, hey, man, I understand. But you really don't have a fucking dog in this fight because you didn't vote. So fuck off.
Yep.
Now, I have a conspiracy theory that the election is rigged.
Oh,
and
no, that's not a conspiracy theory. It is.
Well, so the winner has already been predetermined. However, I am going to go vote just in the off chance that there is accountability and they actually do count the votes and they check the votes. I want to make sure that my vote is in.
That's why I go vote in person.
And so, but hear me out here. The way that I see it is we've got a tried and true proven Marxist versus a businessman. And while he may not be the best businessman, I would say he's fairly successful. And in his first 4 years, he did a good job. And you know, we had a stance on the world stage again. There's a lot of things that I think need to go away in the federal government, and I think NATO needs to go away. But when it comes down to it, I know I'll vote for what I think is the betterment of the country, whether it counts or not.
Yep. Speaking on that, that's why a lot of people can't stand him, because he's not a politician. She is a politician, and she's a very good politician. You could tell that from the debate. Hey, that's part of it. But she's also the one that the cabal, which everybody has conspiracy theorized about for a long time, which, I'm sorry, if you can't tell that there's a secret entity running the government, you're pretty fucking stupid right now, because
Who the fuck is running the government?
The cabal. Now, nobody can really say who it is because it's a conglomerate of a bunch of different entities, but they all conspire together to control it. I mean, how else do you have a sitting president who doesn't really make appearances anymore because of his Parkinson's and the fact that he's had a Parkinson's attorney talking to him for how long at the White House? Anyway,
He's on the beach. Leave him alone.
hey, but I mean, there's a lot of different entities, the media, the war machine, profiteers, and stuff like that are.
You know what, Tony? Actually, all three of you gentlemen. I'm going to say this for the internet. I'm currently 36 years old.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I have not voted ever in my life. Well, maybe like the high school. You know, who's going to be president of the class? I have not voted my entire life. Okay, but I have been since 18 years old in the Army, right? The part of the Department of Defense.
And why wouldn't you want to have a say of who your commander in chief is going to be?
Well, I'm going to tell you a little story. All right.
Because honestly, it doesn't matter who the commander in chief is for being in the Army.
And that's my opinion on it. So, given my profession currently, right, and has been for quite a while now, or at least perspective-wise, right? Given my profession, my profession is a tool of politics, right? A lot of people, the patriots, they'll say like, defense of the country and all that stuff. Got it? Okay, that's the nice and fuzzy, warm, explanation of what the armed forces are supposed to do. But we are a tool of politics. So when I came back from Iraq in 2009, right? It was during the surge and all that. I'm sitting down with a party with my family, right? And they're asking me questions about my experience and all this stuff. And then they kind of start asking me some politics questions, like, what do you think about Obama? This and that. And I've already had my training, right? I cannot speak ill will against the commander in chief.
Cannot.
Okay, right? I'm allowed to have my personal opinions about the president, sure. But at this point, I thought of it more and more. And I said, you know what? My profession is a tool of politics. So I don't think it's appropriate to ask the hammer what it thinks of the carpenter. The hammer just hammers nails, or it pulls out nails, but it only has that function, right? You can't ask the hammer what it thinks of the carpenter. It is just a tool. So I have now matured over the years, and I no longer use that saying, or at least that phrase. But I do go like this. I say, hey, you know what? More than likely, if there's a Republican in office, I'm going to go to war or some sort of conflict, and I'll get a little extra money while I'm downrange, risking my life. Okay. If there's a Democrat in office, right, I'll get a slightly higher pay raise annually, but I might not be at war. Who knows? But that's it, right? One is like, am I getting paid here or am I getting paid there? So that's where I am on the political spectrum when it comes to my profession. So it really doesn't matter. And I think that's probably why I've justified this long why I haven't voted. But I'm getting close to the end. I might actually put my name on
I could see how you feel about the Republican and the war thing if it was like pre 9/11. But but after 9/11, I mean, it's not like, the Republican, it's not like they freaking held an election to start 9/11. You know what I'm saying? I guess what I'm trying to say is this: in the last 20 something years, you've had a nation that's been at war, whether it was Republican or Democratic office, because of the events that happened on 9/11. And I'm not saying that all the different places we went maybe should have been attributed to that, but regardless, it fell that way. So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out where it's the war is a party thing. I don't get it.
No, I don't believe it's a party thing, right? I'm only saying from my perspective, right? Or I went to combat zones, my deployments, right? We're during a Republican office, right? And then I also kind of noticed, right? The January pay raise. I've actually noticed more juice come into pocket when Democrats are in office. So and that's only my tiny little lane, my little thing that I drive down.
Because when I was in, right, and we had the changeover from Bush Senior to Clinton, it was just the opposite. The military fucking shrunk things that money that was available for training and everything else shrunk. A lot of shit.
What y'all are missing is y'all are starting at the top, and the military is not run by the top or paid by the top. Usually, historically, whenever there's a Democrat in office, the Congress and the Senate are Republican controlled.
Okay.
And vice versa. So generally when you get your raises, it's because Republicans are giving more spending from Congress under a Democrat president.
I think there's some validity to that. That does make sense.
Okay. Well, I know last year the VA rate, anyways, went up to match inflation.
First time in a long time.
Yeah. In decades.
Usually it's cost of living, and it was actually a decent raise this past time.
It's funny though, but because it matched inflation, like it really ended up being a wash where it didn't feel like a raise.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, groceries aren't a total hit this month. Yeah, I get it.
Man.
So Tony, I don't know.
Oh shit, Steven, what do you got?
He opened up the rabbit hole.
I don't know. I've found I've watched a lot of documentaries. I think about things a little bit differently now because I look at them based on 31 years in law enforcement and those experiences and what I've seen myself. I watched 9/11 happen on the TV. And watching Fox News and CNN on September the 11th, I have never believed that the Pentagon was a plane. Sorry. They've never convinced me of that. And now looking at a lot of the stuff that's coming out because of age.
So I went on the internet and I found this.
There's a lot of things that make you go, I wonder if we're really being told the truth or if we're being lied to.
All I can tell you is I know some people that were at the Pentagon, and there was freaking seats that were in the Pentagon that weren't there before the event happened, and there were bodies in there that weren't employed there. So I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I just know what I saw on TV, and I don't know. I know that.
Yeah, because we were known for having freaking 4K resolution on a fucking fisheye security cam at fucking 2000, right?
Oh yeah.
You know what the difference between a conspiracy theory and reality is? About 18 months.
Right.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think it is fun, right? Is to sometimes go down the YouTube rabbit hole and and watch some of the 9/11 conspiracy things, right? Like there were missiles under the plane. Look at that weird shape and all this.
Oh my God!
It's interesting to watch how some people like dig so deep in the minutia of the event that they don't. They get wrapped up in that, right? Not looking, not stepping back and going big picture, going, what actually really was the cause of this? What was it? Was it something where, I don't know, the military industrial complex, right? The machine needs to get a little grease, right? And we need to start something up. Did America need something like that? Maybe, I don't know, right? Was it a fucking big ploy to fucking get some insurance scam thing out of a couple buildings because some dudes in some other politician's pocket? I don't know. But ultimately, I do believe this, right? My patriotic duty. Right? I think that if you consider America kind of like a phoenix, right? We were born out of fire, right? Out of the ashes. Let me stop there. Let me go back. Right? I was born in Nevada, right? We're battle born. That's the motto. Okay. So if America was battle born, we literally are. Okay. That's how we were birthed, was through war. I think a lot of nations are, but we kind of thrive on it. In fact, it's kind of our thing. That's how we're
really good at it.
It's how we do it, right? We're so good at it, we'll do it with ourselves, right? and go wild about it, right? Trying to figure ourselves out, right? We were teenagers at that time. We couldn't figure ourselves out, but we did. We hashed out some rules for ourselves. As modern times and everything else, I think my opinion of it is really just based off of kind of what Ike warned us about, was watch out for a military-industrial complex. And I think we are kind of in that. I mean, shit, I'm a product of it right now. I think all you gentlemen have been a part of that too. You're in the cog, you're a cog in the machine type deal. If we will always be a battle-driven country, then I think we just need to come to terms with that and just realize that that's how we will maintain our superiority, our arrogance that we always get made fun of by other countries, right? It's just how we are. So if 9/11 ended up being one of those, oh shit, dude, we need to fill up the fucking oil in the machine, then I don't know, let it be it. I'm kind of saddened by it being a 20-year conflict of us justifying the thing at the end, but here we are, right? Spend a lot more money, got the mighty fighting machine back up and running, right? We got rid of the downsizing during Clinton's time frame, got the thing back up and running, and here we are. Now we're distracting ourselves with a little bit of politics and football mixed in, so we really get distracted. Soapbox, I'll step down.
All right, so it's funny you mentioned football. I gave up on the NFL when they went political, because to me, like, you're getting paid millions of dollars to fucking play a game. If you want to be political, do it on your own time, but keep that shit off the field. Like, you respect your country and you play the fucking game.
I hadn't watched an NFL game since the first knee hit the ground. If my college team pulls that same shit, I'm out. I'm done with that too.
But you know what? I mentioned football to be a distraction. I think it's kind of funny that we choose presidents and we start having the debates when we are right in the middle of football season. But let me tell you, I'm pretty driven by the conversation that we have at the office or during, planning for training events or anything like that, especially in the Army. And man, as soon as the preseason starts, it seems like almost 80% of the conversations that are had day in, day out around the office, around even, at the live fire range or whatnot, is all fucking football. And it's like, dude, we're out here getting paid to go engage with and destroy the enemy. Like, I don't give a flying rat's ass, right? If the coach's fucking pick is gonna fucking make it to the end, right? And I don't, and Dallas's fucking new girlfriend is doing some douche. I don't give a fuck, right? I just like, can we pay attention to what the fuck we're supposed to be doing? So if I see that in daily conversation during when the times we need to be paying attention, why the hell would that not translate to every bit of what we see and how we digest media during the entire season? Right. I think if we're playing the big conspiracy thing, right, Steve? If if the mighty glove behind the mask, right, behind the sheet wants to get something done, they should wait the football season. All of it, fucking. You do not know what's going on here.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
There you go.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Aren't the droids you're looking for?
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Pay attention to that fumbled pass and that horrible call.
I saw a cartoon the other day of R2D2 and C3PO like playing a concert, and it said, "Still not the droids that you're looking for," like YouTube. I mean, like U2, the song. You still haven't found what you're looking for, but it's still not the droids that you're looking for. It's pretty funny.
Oh, speaking of some Star Wars, man. Last thing I watched was The Mandalorian, and I'm a big fan.
Love The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Only because when El Jefe gets his hands on something, he makes it good, right? But no, Star Wars. Dude, come on, James Earl Jones.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Right?
I loved him in the Gardens of Stone.
That was
Yeah.
a good movie.
Yeah.
Who first recognized the concept of asexual reproduction? Your wife, Sergeant
Your
Major?
wife?
If you
Nope.
build it, they will come.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, dude, James Earl Jones, come on, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even remember him being in Conan the Barbarian.
Oh yeah.
That dude narrated our lives. Look, we got different generations of folks in this
I don't know,
podcast.
some-
right now. And,
He's not Morgan Freeman, dude.
well, okay.
Dude, he was Mufasa in The Lion King.
That's right.
And he was an army officer.
What? I kind of want to know what James Earl Jones, what branch he was in the army. What officer he was. I'm trying to look him up.
Mm.
He actually enlisted during the Korean War. That was his whole purpose, was to do that.
Oh shit, good. That's good.
Yeah, no. Finished his studies at the University of Michigan, became a second lieutenant. Summer of 1953, he reported to Fort Benning, Georgia for basic, followed on by Ranger School. Later, he was assigned to the 38th
Okay.
Regimental Combat Team and played a crucial role in establishing the Cold Weather Training Command at Camp Hale in Leadville, Colorado.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fucking James Earl Jones, all around fucking hero.
Dude,
Badass.
He was on the Pershing Rifles drill team, the Scabbard and Blade Honor Society. Scabbard
Damn.
and Blade, kind of like the flag and torch, but signal or I got you. But and then he said that our regiment was established as the training unit to train in the bitter cold weather and the rugged terrain of the Rocky Mountains. And that was one of his very first interviews.
Well, I guarantee you his time in Korea made him freaking want to do that shit.
Yeah.
Because that motherfucking place is cold as shit.
Do not alert him to my presence. I shall.
If you build it, he will come. I am your father.
Oh, once again, I want to thank each and every listener and viewer for sticking with us for another episode of the Weekend Warriors podcast. This certainly has been a fun ride, and we've talked about quite a lot. Final parting words. Cody, what do you got for us?
Don't sweat the little stuff. Realize that the little wins are significant. But Play some ham radio and enjoy your damn hobbies, man. That's what I got.
Perfect. Steven, what do you got? Final parting words for our listeners.
Along the lines of what Cody said, remember that just because you're watching it from this angle doesn't mean that you saw everything in the exact point of view that somebody saw it from this angle. So stop, be nice, and remember that everybody sees things just a tad bit differently than you do. And we need to find that happy medium and get along.
Damn. Well spoken, Steven.
Ooh, can I add one more?
Yes, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know about politics or presidential debates. I'm not an expert, but
Me neither.
look, watch football, watch the debate, pick who you want to pick. Just enjoy it and don't let it consume you.
And you know what? Stick with it. We're all in this together.
Remember, I'm pulling for you, because we're all in this together.
So I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball this week and like and subscribe because it's not down there anymore. It's too small. We've moved it up here to where it's bigger.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.